Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernie. You're taking a look at one of the feature races on a stakes-laden Gulfstream card on Saturday. It's the Mucho Macho Man Stakes for 3-year-olds. If you're betting the card, no better way than with a new DRF Bets account. When you sign up right now, $200 free bet, no deposit required. drf.com/join is where you need to go. Please use the promo code FREEBET09. Let's take a look at this field for the Mucho Macho Man Stakes. Really intriguing bunch. Got a couple of horses off layoffs, maiden winners that have been impressive, stakes horses coming off layoffs, and you also have the sharp Bal Harbour. But let's start with the morning line favorite, the 3, Dak Attack, 2 for 2 in his career. Very impressive, I thought, winning the Ellis Park Juvenile last time out. He can adapt to the pace situation. We haven't seen him in a while, though.
No, we haven't seen him for, almost 6 months at this point. His last run was toward the end of August. I thought he was very, very good that day. All things considered, though, he had the run of the race. He was mid-pack behind a blistering pace, out in the clear. He went on and won like a good thing. The question now is he going to be ready to go? It sounds like from the Clocker reports from Mike Welsh and company that he's just working up a storm. Is he going to be ready to take that step off the layoff at a mile against better horses?
Dak Attack, beautiful pedigree, sold for $625,000. We'll see what we get off the layoff, but you're absolutely right. Our clockers are raving. I'm expecting some big speed out of the 3, Dak Attack, in this spot. Let's take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector, because we're going to have Dak Attack out there on the lead. He might face a little bit of pressure from the newly blinkered #1 Colt in Mississippi.
Yeah, you know what? I've never gotten the real buzz behind him, but at the same time, if you think that he's going to be able to break from the inside with the blinkers on, speed is always advantageous, particularly at the 1-turn mile at Gulfstream. I almost wonder, though, at this point, is he more of just
a sacrificial lamb
to ensure that there's going to be something for Bal Harbour to come and run
it?
It
Certainly seems that way, doesn't it? There are 2 ways to look at Colt in Mississippi. The way I think most people are going to look at it and say, he just hasn't run a fast or impressive race yet.
Yeah.
And I think there are a couple of people that are going to say, well, isn't he just dirtied up? In his 2 losses, one was the Sapling, where it looked like he just bolted going into the first turn and beat himself. And then last time, I didn't seem to like a wet track.
Yeah.
And if you take those races out of the equation, you got a horse that's 2 for 2. I think you look at it that way at a price, but I'm with you. I think he's kind of in here to ensure the pace for Bal Harbour.
It's also worth noting, really small sample size. Past 2 years, first-time blinkers, route, non-graded stakes for Pletchery's 4 for 5. So that's not a bad number.
Not surprisingly, Todd does great with many formulator facts. And if you think you've seen the best already from Bal Harbour, who's won his last 2 races, both stakes, this formulator fact might make you think there's another forward move. Past 4 years, with last out winning 3-year-olds making the second start off the layoff in non-graded stake dirt route races, Pletcher 42%, a 262 ROI. This horse, in my opinion, really likes a sloppy track. I think that helped him out last time out in the smooth air. He's now 2 for 2 over wet.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I think the wet track certainly helped his cause. At the same time, to me, he just feels like the most underappreciated horse, that all he really does is go out and run until he goes out there. And I think your sentiments overall are accurate, that when the waters get deeper, he's probably going to find it too tough. I just still, until that moment comes, I don't want to continue to doubt him, because I think he's just going to show up and run.
And he beat 4 of these common foes in that race. Visually, it was the best I ever saw him run, but I do wonder if it was the wet track.
Sure.
Where She Told Me to Go ran really, really well in the smooth air and just got pipped at the wire by Bal Harbour. I thought, all in all, it was a really nice trip. He settled in mid-pack, came with a big 5-wide move entering the turn, took over the lead, and then he kind of got a case of the drifts. And I wonder if he needs a slightly shorter distance.
I agree 100%. I think distance is not his friend. I think ultimately he's a 1-turn kind of 7/8 type.
Before we get to our picks, let's talk about a couple of long shots that we see here on the morning line. We'll begin with the 2, Forever Taken, 20-1, just ran an even 4th in the smooth air going a 1-turn mile. I think this horse is okay. I think he has options on turf down the road.
Yeah, and it just right now it seems like we're in kind of a deep situation where it's only going to get tougher on the dirt. I agree. Maybe at some point turf.
And Handsome Franco, the 7, is a graded stakes winner in Puerto Rico. Didn't have the easiest trip in the smooth air stakes, but he's got to improve by leaps and bounds, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, simply put, he's in tough right now.
Let's take a look at our top selections, though, for race number 10, the Mucho Macho Man Stakes. Matt, you like the number 5, Santiamen, undefeated horse, kind of game last time. I know a lot of folks are going to say, well, he was 3-10, he's supposed to crush that field. He was getting scrubbed on the turn. And whenever I see that, and then I see a horse grind down to win, I think these horses are going to want extra distance. I see him dialed in, and I'm thinking, this 1-turn mile is going to be good for him.
That's kind of my thought. And you know what? I wanted to look at this race and say, I know the shorter prices, the more high-profile outfits, they're probably very likely winners. But I also think Santiaman is not without a chance in here. I don't think the distance is a problem. You get Irad Ortiz. I'm going to be very interested to see what Irad does with him, because based on the pace projector, it doesn't look like there's a ton of speed in here. And I wonder, on the slight stretch out, going from 3/4 to a mile, do you get him into the run a little bit earlier and hope that that stamina takes over? He should be a good number. I play him over 5-1.
We both like stretch-out sprinters. I was pleasantly surprised to see Timeform US have Mask so close to the pace, because when you watched his career debut, he didn't break very well. He was kind of outrun. Javier had the bat out on the turn. And like Santiaman, he kind of grinded in between horses, and he was able to finish with a big Beyer speed figure of 88. A race that was kind of flattered when a couple of horses came back to win, albeit with slower Beyer speed figures. If this horse figures out the gate and gets a good forward spot like Timeform US projects, I'm bullish on his chances. I don't like his odds, though, at 2-1, because he's had some issues since that last race. We haven't seen him in almost 3 months.
Yeah, and apparently Chad said just baby issues, typical kind of 2-year-old stuff. Now he's a 3-year-old. I've got to be honest with you. If you just are a figure player, he lays over this field. If he just runs the 88, he probably wins. If he takes a step forward, he wins for fun. I'm concerned about the mile distance, and I know it sounds silly. I think he wants as much distance as possible. You look at the way that he galloped out that race at Belmont. I wonder if you're looking at, maybe he is a Derby horse, but I also wonder if we're thinking way down the road, maybe he's a Belmont kind of horse.
So you're going 5, 6, 4, and 3, but you're probably going to get your price to win on the 5 Santiaman. I'm probably not going to get a 3-1 that I think is fair on the number 6 Mask. From a multiple race standpoint, though, I'm going to try to beat Dak Attack. I know he's working great, but I was going to take a shot off this little injury-induced layoff. Maybe he won't be completely cranked up to go a mile off the bench. So for me, in a multiple race standpoint, the other kind of logical horse is 6-4-8, 6-4-8-3 for me in a single race standpoint in the Mucho Macho Man Stakes. Again, if you are playing this really nice Gulfstream Saturday card from home, please sign up to DRF Bets. You'll access a $200 free bet, no deposit required. DRF.com/join, free bet 09. Approximate post time for the Mucho Macho Man, 4:37 Eastern. Good luck.